Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Comrade President, Deputy President, and the National Organizing Secretary, the media, and everyone here. We would like to give a very revolutionary greeting to the global forces of change and revolution in our country. I want to preface this conversation by saying that we are very clear as PUDEMO that the time has come for change in Swaziland, and that there is no force on this earth that is going to turn the tide against the tide of freedom. We want to say that Comrade Lunis Makhanya is the face of the freedom forces in Swaziland. He is the commander-in-chief of the forces of freedom. He is the leader of the democratic forces, and no amount of intimidation on his life, no amount of targeting of our lives is going to change the fact that Swaziland is in the cusp of history. When we say it is time, we mean that it is time for King Mswati to realize that the sovereignty of the Swazi state belongs to the people of Swaziland. We want to say that this region called SADC has created in King Mswati a behemoth. It has created an albatross. It has created a Frankenstein whose time is now over. That Frankenstein will have its neck cut off because the people of Swaziland are resolute about the freedom that they've been fighting for over the past decades, and the blood of our people that have been shed for this freedom is not going to be shed in vain. We want to say that the world will have no reason to blame the people of Swaziland when they use all the means necessary to free their motherland. We want to say that we can no longer have a country that is a dictatorship in a sea of democracies. We can no longer have a country that hides behind culture and tradition to oppress 1.2 million people. We can no longer have a country that is ruled by a family when all other countries in the world are ruled by democratic governments. We can no longer have a country that is ruled by one man who is the law and who is above the constitution. We as PUDEMO are the face of resistance. PUDEMO is the citadel of change. PUDEMO is the citadel of progress, and PUDEMO is the voice of reason for our people. We want to say that even as Comrade Lunis Makhanya is sleeping in his bed right now, we are very clear that his spirit possesses us. His spirit possesses the people of Swaziland. We are very clear that the future that lies ahead is a future where the people of Swaziland will have a democratic government chosen by the people through a legitimate democratic electoral multi-party democracy based on a constitutional state. These are the values that PUDEMO stands for, and these are the values that PUDEMO is going to fight for. We want an equitable economy in our country where the redistribution of the wealth of the country belongs to all, and where the assets of the country are shared by the citizens of the country. The time has come for the world to understand that we are not subjects, we are citizens, equal in measure and stature with all other citizens of the world. The time has come for the world to understand that nobody is going to continue to oppress us, and we are going to use all the means that are necessary under the sun to make sure that our motherland is free. We have come to a point where in history the Swazi people need to stand up. Indeed, we are at an inflection point, a point of no return. I don't want to waste a lot of time describing what has happened to our president, but I want to say to our people that I know in the deepest confines of my heart that President Lunis Makhanya right now is clear about what our people must do. He has issued a clear line of march about how to deal with this recalcitrant state, how to make sure that we move forward in progress, in unity, and reclaiming our country from a family that thinks that it can continue to oppress us, a family that can continue to kill our people extrajudicially in every sphere of their lives. So that time is over, and this is the message that we as PUDEMO want to announce. we know that the hand of the state in the attempted assassination of the president is without any doubt. And we are not going to spend time describing that. We know that the only institution in the world that has made it clear that it wants President Munis Makad is the government of King Mswati III. There is no other institution in the world that has made threats against our president. There is no other institution in the world that has kept our leaders in prison. I'm talking about Thabo Mbeki, who was taken here in South Africa and illegally repatriated back to Swaziland by the intelligence and police officials, offending the sovereignty of the South African state. I'm talking about Comrade Batete Mabuza, a voice of the Swazi people who spoke about the need for the country to move from this anachronism of the past, that is Tingunda, to a proper democratic state wherein the government is elected by the people. I am talking about Mthandeni Dube, an MP whose conviction about the future of our people remains solid even to this day. I am talking about the political prisoners that continue to languish in our jail cells unnecessarily and without having committed any crime. We as PUDEMO are going to fight for those people and make sure that freedom reigns in our country. What we want to end by saying is that we want to implore the South African government in particular and the international community that they must not ignore the fact that the time for change has come to our country. They must not wait for another inch or a drop of blood of our people to be shed. We will not accept that. And we are going to make sure that we organize our people, mobilize them, and make sure that they overthrow this regime. And we want to make this very unequivocal, that our political objectives are very clear. It is freedom or nothing, as the Deputy President said earlier this morning. It is freedom or death. That is the depth to which we want to go in making sure that our motherland is free. Amanda, I don't continue.